Hello, everybody. I hope you're all having a wonderful Thursday because this recording is on a Thursday and you might be watching on a different day, but I hope you're having a wonderful day in that case. I'm doing an impromptu lunch and learn today. It's actually earlier than lunchtime where I am right now, but I had to get this out of the way as I was thinking about it and I said, I should talk about this. Many people keep asking me about this, and some of my personal projects kind of resurfaced as new platforms keep emerging online. That's been, you know, pumping me up to getting back on my feet and helping and doing helping the community by doing the things I do. And today's topic, we're going to be talking about how to manage multiple brands. Again, launch and for those who are new in launch and learn, these are not workshops. This is something that we have a casual talk about different topics. I hope you've been enjoying the ones we've done so far. We had one doing using video and being in front of the camera for your brand with Melina, and then we had Lynn Soak who talked about um, getting a mortgage for freelancers. We had Eleni who recently spoke about finding your inner leadership. We had Josh who actually started who was our initiator, you might say, for Lunch and Learn, who talked about cryptocurrency. So there's a bunch of different topics you can always find on Numerix. You can go find it every week. We're going to be uploading new ones. Lunch and Learns are going to be hiatus for until the fall, but we're always looking for hosts. We're always looking for new topics for new hosts, and you never know, maybe in the summer we might just bring it back impromptu like I'm doing right now. So if you are interested in joining, just shoot me an email. The email is passing by right now, and we can discuss about having you on board to giving a talk during a lunch and learn, and we can all learn together. So for those who don't know who I am, my name is Patrick. I am the co-founder of Creator HQ. Inside, there's multiple brands. There's Rec MTL or Rec Events today, and you have Numerix, and I created also What's Up Montreal before that. So I'm someone who has multiple brands under my name, multiple projects going on, and it creates a lot of confusion for a lot of people, especially those who know me. Those who don't know me have no problem because brands are serving their own purpose by having their own identities. But those who know me kind of blur out everything about those different brands and projects and just see me. And no matter how many people I add to the project, no matter how many faces I add to the project, it doesn't matter. They still see me, and it creates confusion. People say, "How do you do it? How do you manage to do all this?" And that's what we're going to talk about. We're not going to talk about like necessarily how to manage all of them and like giving you like very specific things, but it's more about the branding aspect. How does branding help out with all this, and then you can like delimit between them and so on. So for those who are joining us, please shoot us a hi. I would love to see who's talking to us. I would love to see who's online. Shoot a comment. You can use the comments to talk to us. There's a 10-second delay, by the way, between what I say and what you see. So if I'm not answering your questions or whatnot rapidly, it's just because like there's a 10-second delay. I haven't forgotten about you. So please do not think that I'm ignoring you or whatnot. So use the comments to come, and I'll just like put the comments online like this, like a little doc we see over here, and I'll answer your questions or shoot you a hi. So yeah, so what to do with branding, especially when you have so many. So just to kind of give you a perspective of what the reality is for me, and kind of putting the perspective of like what's in your situation, what's your reality. With online, it's so easy to start creating different brands and different kind of businesses and projects, and it just sometimes gets out of hand, and some of them you keep, some of them you don't keep, and some of them you grow, and some of them you let go or you put on pause. And it creates again, like I said, it creates a friction specifically for people who know you, because those who don't know you, just branding, the purpose of branding is creating an identity, and it's great for niches. If you're creating certain niches for different projects that you have, then it's perfect, because then people will you will go and target specific people who will then be raise awareness and get attracted to your brand, and create loyalty with your brand and become customers or become part of your community, whatever the goal is of that project. that's how it's going to happen, right? You're targeting niches, and that's why branding is super important. But again, the friction comes into place when people know you, because like in my case, those who know me will blur out everything about the different projects I'm doing, and they'll just see me, and they're like, okay, well, Patrick, whether it's WhatsApp Montreal, Creator HQ, Rec MTL, Numerics, or any other brands or any other projects you work on, it's all the same. To the point where even when now I'm working with customers and I'm working on their brands, and they're so distinguished, they're so different than what I'm doing, completely different colors, different shapes, different everything. As soon as they see me, people are like, they forget about the brand. They're like, oh, it's another project of Patrick's. That's why I make sure to not put my name for those specifically, so it doesn't create that kind of mismatch, and people forget about what that brand is all about. So can I give you a perspective, to real case perspective about for me? Let's talk about like the two projects that are within Creator HQ. So Creator HQ itself, as a creator community, I kept colors that are completely different than the other ones. It's black and white, and we keep it like that. Sometimes we add a little blue and a little pink, and then those colors come back often in my other brands. So I keep them as secondary colors. On primary I keep black and white, so that one is not too bad. But then there's like Rec MTL and Numerics that were founded within Creator HQ that people get confused with, and they do similar activities very much because they're under Creator HQ. What else are we gonna do, right? So how I did it, and now I'm gonna bring you the psychology behind it to understand like why there is this confusion that's going on, and why I had to do it in a certain way. So Numerics, that targets more professional startups, companies, marketing, everything that's digital marketing. And then you have Rec MTL that kind of comes back with marketing, but a little bit more about the creativity behind it, the creators, influencers, and it's a different crowd that kind of mix up sometimes, because say you have some creators and influencers who are entrepreneurs, and entrepreneurs who are creatives, and they could mix together, but we want to keep them separate, just because we're targeting different niches, and it works super well, right? Like this community over here, Numerics, we have a lot more professionals and business people that join, and then we have MTL Rec events that we have more creatives that join, that more YouTubers, people on TikTok, and so on, that will join that network, and that's totally fine. Now, in terms of the branding, with Numerics, it's much more digital. You have more glitches, in the style. You have much more straight lines, much more geography, not geography, geometry, which actually does also appear in Rec, but much more defined, much more sleek model. It's much more purple. We're looking at the type of fonts and stuff to make it very much more like straightforward, a little bit less squiggly, because we're targeting more business, right? And then you have rec events that is more inspired by the 80s, 90s Memphis style, vaporwave style. You have a lot of poppy colors that are popping up. You have a lot of it's much more like you have geometry, but you also have squiggly lines. So you have those, you have it's two distinguished ones when I explain like this, and they actually visually look different. And but they both have a very fun feeling to it. Even the Numerics one, we have some poppy colors, and we have some animation that will pop up, such as, even if we have fun with um, Lunch and Learn, as you just saw, like a it's like a character. Again, you have some colors popping up, so it does give a different, it still has that fun feeling, and it's kind of contradictory to traditional branding, specifically looking at, even if Rec was inspired by the 80s, it's inspired by the pop culture 80s, and not the professional side of things. And Numerics, for example, this one over here, I mean, we had fun with Lunch and Learn to creating a little much more funner feeling, but Numerics too, even though you have some much more digital aspect like this one, we still have, like, if you look at the branding around it, you still have some poppy characters that will appear here and there, that will still give a much more, not, I wouldn't say childish, but like a little more fun feeling, which is again contradictory to traditional branding techniques, because like branding practices. Look at the even if the 80s were fun and stuff, look at the professional side of things, look at the business side of things. If people were selling you, let's say, insurances or medical stuff, or law, business deals, stuff like that, 80s, 90s, specifically early 2000s, um, you know but whatever was in those categories, yeah, it had a much more serious feeling. I mean, I understand with the whole medical for sure. We don't want to make it. I think they even I don't even allow most of the time to do um, a lot of like advertising and stuff that's like enticing, like kind of like, here's a candy, take it. It's not like that. So I understand for the medical, but for the business side of things, however, they kept, people were promoting their services and stuff, and they had to be very there's a classic type of fonts, classic type of colors, the way it's presented is very serious. You're going to do a business deal, and that's how it was in earlier in the early ages. I could, for me, I could say, like, I could remember ads appearing 80s and 90s, and then the 2000s came, and it became even worse. I feel everything became like that. A lot of the things in the early years of 2000s, um, just remember the textbook style, the very um, old-fashioned, boring style that they used to choose to do ads on TV, in newspapers, and so on. And it was very like dull. It wasn't appealing, and this is an issue that I have today with a lot of clients. Not that it's not a personal issue or whatnot, but clients might bring up this conversation with me and says, Patrick, whenever I want to I want to break just these traditions. I want to step out of the conventional ways of branding myself, because I'm a financial institute, because I do offer coaching, because I offer business, help and support for businesses. I want to be out of the box, and what can we do that's different? And this is where um, more and more we see, not just from me but from anything else, like, we have like the difference between some companies who stay very traditional and so backwards, I would say, and then you have companies who really progress and be more innovative, current with the times, and they will use current marketing tactics to brand themselves, whether it's things like emojis, as simple as that, or sometimes they will put the memes, or the jargon that's like much more youth. So they'll use youthful themes through to market themselves. And a lot of times, and I've mentioned this also many times to you when I was getting consultations, why are even like food commercials today, like the chips commercials and stuff on TV, they're still using 80s themes, because like they're looking to kind of rejuvenate like the youth, but at the same like their own youth, for the people who are probably creating those ads as traditional companies, but also like getting to the pop culture more of things. But when it comes to business, people are so used to the concept of like being much more you know like having a certain like dull style, seriousness, um has to be clean, minimalistic. Like they have all these things, and that's fine. Some of these things are good. Being minimalistic is good, being clean is good, all these things are good. But then you have, but the textbook style, that's what I'm talking about, and it's to be avoided. The reason why is that this concession happens because it's, again, it's so embedded into us from back in the days. So like for me, I can remember 80s, 90s, and the early 2000s as being the years where um, these type of branding practices were very common for businesses, to be very traditional, to be very textbook style, and be boring and dull. So you know when it came to me doing branding for my stuff, even for Numerix, that was much more oriented for business marketing. Like we're talking about, like people who want to do, financing, people who want to create money out of their business and so on. You know, contrary to that, I said, like what's going to be appealing to people like me or people like my age and so on. And that's where, I changed the style of branding to make it much more fun. And coming back to today's topic, talking about how to manage and distinguish between brands and so on, again, this has the issue that has been created is that, many of my brands that I've created myself have this kind of similarities, this childish or this playful feeling that people, get confused. But again, um, the user, the person who doesn't know me will not realize that until they actually know me. And so, what's my biggest tip in this? What is my tip into distinguishing your brands and really defining your brand so that this problem doesn't occur to you? How, you may have multiple brands. You may have one big brand and have sub brands in there because you're targeting different people. Let's say you have, like, for example, for me, like Creator HQ is, the community that's targeting also professionals, but it's also targeting um, creatives. And it is important that the branding works for both of them because their branding itself will go and gather and attract people. And to be able to do that, it's you know it creates its own niches. But to be able to distinguish both of that is to have very clear branding guidelines, is to create a document that really follows those lines of like how to distinguish, like what are the key factors for each aspect of your brand, whether it's the colors, which the visual ones are very like evident, whether everything has to do with colors, everything has to do with shapes, the font, the style, the texture, all these things have to be very well defined and have to be transcended throughout everything you're doing online. Now, let's say just talking about this live stream, it's borderline on brand right now because there's limitations of what I can do on StreamYard, right? So, maybe the fonts aren't what I want for my brand, or the colors are, I at least match the colors. But these are some things that you will have to transcend, right? So you need to like really have a guidebook that's created for your brand, for the different brandings, and it's very well defined. Now, yourself as probably an entrepreneur or a professional, or you're working for a company and so on. If you have different services and different products, if the target is changing, then the branding has to be accommodating to that target. So it's not the same branding you're going to use to target moms, for example, who are in their 30s, 40s, 50s. Then you're going to target, let's say, someone with a younger demographic, let's say young girls, for example. The marketing branding completely changes from one to the other because of age. And then you can have different aspects of choosing what you want to do to target the specific niches. Maybe okay, so you're targeting moms, but you're targeting professional moms, or you're targeting stay-at-home moms. The branding changes for that. So the different type of products and services that you're going to be selling have to be different. You can be targeting the same people. So it's very important to create a guidebook that's going to really um, define exactly what what corresponds to that target avatar, to that target niche that you are aiming for, that you're aiming to attract. And that's already a good start, because you're going to be transcending everything that you put on that guidebook towards everything you're doing, whether it's online, any interaction with your clientele, with your community, any box that you're going to be creating for your product, for example, the design of your product, the way you deliver, whether it's product or service, everything has to be following that guidebook. And that's something that changes over time too. Branding changes over time, but that's one way I am doing. So if someone asks me for my guidebook for numerics, or someone asks me for my guidebook for rec, and even today within numerics that we have Launch and Learn. Okay, Launch and Learn. Let me just pull up the ad again. Let me put another one. Let me put the girl. So inside in numerics, you have one of the colors that are coming back, which is the font, not the font, but the color in the writing. So I kept that to keep the relation with numerics. The yellow, it wasn't really a choice. I couldn't really change it. I mean, I could have if I really wanted to edit it, but just to that's how the video was. and maybe it's going to create its own branding with Launch and Learn, because Launch and Learn, the style I had was, fun, comfort food, lunch. The squiggly font that I saw, whatever I saw, and I grabbed it and I saved it. So those now, when I create my guidebook for Lunch and Learn, I will put that color. I would probably put the yellow one. I'll probably put, like, there's some sort of, like, peach color that's popping out when she takes a bite, and the font, I will choose the font that you just saw. And you know that's usually how I do, a part of how I do my branding. There's so much psychology behind it, and so much thought process that goes into it. But part of it also, I go with what it also exists. You can always be very, very specific. The more specific you are, better it is. But those are usually more costly or time wise, and sometimes I just click to whatever is available right away and say, I search, I like this font, I like this color, it's resonating with me, and then I could do an analysis, to seeing if it's actually appealing to the audience I'm targeting. But the usual way you're supposed to do it is the inverse, which is, work on your psychology with your branding, the top process, and then find what's available and then do it. But since this was a sub brand, I went a little bit quicker. But just all that to say that, this is a process that happens. But as soon as you start determining some stuff, and you don't have to be stuck with one, what I suggest is that you start taking notes. Um, let's say the different colors that you like. So get the color code, note them down, and then make a decision on which color code you want and which font you want and what, style that you like. I mean, I didn't know, for example, for rec, I didn't know the word Memphis style until I discovered a co-working space in Montreal that was using the style I liked, and they started, and they were actually, graphic designers and designers themselves, so they knew about the different names of the styles, and they mentioned it in one of their posts, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool, it's called Memphis, good to know. And then I learned about vaporwave. These words and stuff, they come up to you later on, and it helps you, because then when you're doing your research, you can find a whole bank, an archive of, elements that you can use in that style, and it could serve you so well, for your branding. So again, I'm going to repeat my tip for this: to distinguishing your brand and to being able to manage it well, is to creating a guidebook, a branding guidebook. Visuals are not just what you put in your guidebook. There's a lot of, again, like a lot of psychology and thought process that goes in that guidebook. More specific you are, better it is. um, and that's something that I've been doing for myself, and I've been doing for others, and I've been, um, teaching about it, talking about it, and I love sharing. I love branding, and, it's really something that a lot of people, don't know about or don't find it easy. And I'm not gonna lie, it's not an easy process. It's never easy. There's so much that goes into it, and those who work with me know there's so many hours that go into it. Branding could take, days, weeks, months, even years. I know a lot of my branding. I didn't just sit down. I said, okay, I'm gonna create a company right now, and I'm gonna brand it right now, right away. I'm gonna know exactly how it's going to go. No, it took me some time, and that's good, because by doing that test of taking time, it's better for you to launch something, or maybe do a soft launch, test it out, see what kind of client you're appealing, because sometimes you don't even know who you're going to be attracting at first. Sometimes you know right away who you're targeting, and you have your business plan and all that. Fantastic, you go forward and it works. But other times, you just have to do it, and then by doing it, you start realizing, okay, well, I'm attracting, millennials. So what do millennials like today? And it's so diverse, right? It's so broad, and then you have to, like, maybe find a niche within that. Oh, I like, millennials that like record music. They all love the record music players. They like the records. This is what I'm going to be targeting from now on. And then you can target that. A lot of the branding and a lot of the thought process goes into also how, understanding like I said, your avatar. So if it's millennials who like record players, who like maybe vintage stuff, who like retro stuff, who like, um, recycling, let's say, because they want to reuse old, electronics instead of wasting them. So you get to know better your community and who you're targeting, and then you're able to tweak and adjust your branding towards that. So then you can, and every time you do that, you go back to your guidebook and you start writing those down, in the appropriate sections. And there's so many pages for branding. There's so many aspects of it. So yeah, so today I didn't want to go through a whole guide. It's not a workshop, whatnot. I'm almost out of time. But I hope you enjoyed. I did an early launch and learn today because I just had the idea. I want to talk to you all about it and share all this with you. I hope this helped. Again, for those who want to teach, not teach, who want to talk and host a launch and learn, message me. The email is right there. Message me. We have until the end of the week. So if you want to host one this week, we can prepare it. I'll market. Like this one wasn't even marketed; it was impromptu. But if you want me to market yours, we will market yours. We'll create a base. Usually we have like 20s to 50s to even sometimes hundreds of people watching live. And this was like so last minute. It wasn't advertised, but the replays are what's useful. And thank goodness that this platform, people can replay. That's the wonderful thing about the internet. So that's all I had to share. I hope this kind of sparked a little idea into you about branding, give you a little perspective of what branding is, and how you can utilize it to really um, grow your offering and reaching out to different audiences, and how you can create multiple brands, whether completely different projects or even um, within your own project, create multiple different segments of different brandings because you're targeting different people, and that's totally fine. It just it's important to know how to defer the blur line, and that's by creating a guidebook. And if you need any help or whatsoever, it's the same email. It's right there. Just email me. We can always book some time together to talk. It's not a sales pitch or whatnot, but I've been helping so many people with this. I've been since I'm here also. I'm starting to create different experiences online. Most of these things are free tips and free stuff that I share, like the launch and learns are free, and we're doing a free I'm creating a free co-working space for now temporarily to see. We're testing it out on different platforms, and we created one for numerics first, and if it works out, we may create one for did I say numerics? We create one for rec events, but we might create one for numerics very soon after. It's an amazing online tool that we can co-work together and share ideas and do stuff and create different sessions like this one. Maybe even host workshops, hands-on workshops. Like I'm hosting one soon about branding, coincidentally. But yeah, we're doing that. But we're doing so many stuff with Creator HQ. Creator HQ does so much to helping out the community, to helping out content creators, improve, really highlighting local culture, local content creators, local artists. This includes also professionals and startups. We help so many people. Like Creator HQ itself started in 2014. We've been doing multiple events. Most of them have been for free. Some of them have had some fees. Workshops. Some of them have been for free. Some of them had the fee. And then we created a co-working space. We love that co-working space. Unfortunately, we had to close it because of everything that's going on. So now we're happy that we're launching one online, and the platform is there. So we're doing it for free for now as we're testing things out. It's a beta project. So we're welcoming you. We only have 100 space, and I see places are filling up. So you can go on our website. I haven't put the link there, but maybe by the time you're watching this video, I will put it there. You can join the co-working, I guess, virtual space. We do a lot of content for numerics for professionals and startups. We do a lot of content for like Rec MTL, and this year has been such a weird year, especially 2020, more than 2021. That we did a whole award show that was online. We got an event that was supposed to be on one night, on 4 nights, and it turned to be 14 days. A lot of the stuff was for free. So we didn't make a lot of, the goal wasn't to make money, but we didn't make money to cover the costs and whatnot to be able to do what we do and activities that we do. Everything costs money. This is a true fact. Whether you start a project or not, you'll know this once you start one or you start a business. You'll know everything costs money. So we're accepting donations. The link is right there, and we want to. It's mainly to pay the gala, the trophies. we also have different activities that you can always contribute on a monthly basis or a one-time thing. But any donation is appreciated, and very, we're very humble for your donations, for your generosity. Again, the specific donations that we're collecting right now are going to go towards the trophies. We had 5 winners this year instead of 3. These are local content creators from Quebec. We're highlighting, we're focusing a lot on Quebec right now, and eventually want to expand as restrictions get removed. But 5 people won instead of 3 this year, because we want to help, really motivate and inspire a lot of people. But these things, like I said, it costs money, and we've been paying stuff out of pocket for years and stuff. And like I said, the event this time didn't generate necessarily enough money, the last one we did for Numerics. So if you want to contribute, any amount is appreciated. Anything can help. So that's gonna, like I said, it's gonna cover specifically the 5 trophies. It's also going to cover the whole production that's gonna go around and to do the delivery, and mentions, proper mentions, to giving out these awards to local content creators and artists who have won this year's Numerics Gala. So that is it. That is all I have to say. And I hope we're gonna see each other soon. If you want to host, like I said, just shoot me an email, and yeah, we will connect, and we will see what can we do. What topics should we cover? And the last one we're hosting for now is this week. And the next ones are gonna be by the end of, but not by the end of summer probably, or mostly fall, that we're gonna resume. So have a wonderful day. I hope this helped you. Share this video with people. Share it with other people. It's all free information that we are sharing with all of you, because we want to help out as many people as we can, with our knowledge, with our tips, and grow together. I really believe in working together and growing together, and that's why I'm so happy that we're starting the online co-working space, um, which is free for now. We're still testing things out. We're working together, but yeah, as long as we stay safe like that, why not, right? Let's still connect. Let's grow. Let's help each other. Let's not wait for other opportunities from outside. Let's create our own opportunities, because that's why we're here for. We are entrepreneurs. We're creatives. We're professionals. We're smart people. We are able to do the impossible, because we work together, and we can still work together online. So with that said, have a wonderful rest of your day. I don't know when I'm gonna see you. Probably I'm gonna see you during one of those online networking sessions that we're gonna be creating, or maybe another event. There's so many other amazing events. Have a nice day.